Do you believe LeBron here?
Yes. There's no reason not to believe LeBron. Number one, let's go back to his past. His first trip in Cleveland. He's a young player. He was just getting in the league and playing. He's not involved with the front office and things like that. Even when Mike Brown, his last year there, the first stint, they wanted to know, do you want Mike Brown to stay or not as head coach? LeBron didn't get involved. He let them figure it out, and he stayed out of the fray. So that's his first tip. Miami, Pat Riley didn't want players involved in the front office. That bothered LeBron a little bit, so he really just was a player there. And then Cleveland, his second stint, Dan Gilbert, we know the ownership, that was strictly a business transaction. He didn't have a good relationship with Dan Gilbert, but he wanted to bring Cleveland a championship and win one for himself in his hometown. So if you look at those three situations, of course, this one is much better. That's number one. Number two, in the past when LeBron has complained to front office, demanding trades or asking for changes to the roster, it's always been when he didn't have a second star. Okay, in Miami, when he had D. Wade and then Chris Bosh as the third guy, you didn't hear, there was no big stuff about LeBron wanting, more players added to the roster and things like that. And then in Cleveland, you didn't hear a lot of that stuff until Kyrie Irving left. His last year there, he wasn't complaining when Kyrie was there. He's left with Kevin Love as his second guy, who's really not a second guy on the championship team. So that's when he started saying, we need more help. LeBron is like many superstars who put everything into their craft. They want everybody else doing the same thing. If he feels like the front office or ownership is all in on trying to win, he's not going to complain. His problem with coaches in the past, like Eric Spoelstra, initially LeBron felt Spoelstra was unproven. But Spoelstra carried a swag about himself that said, I'm a champion, I've already won it. And that's what rubbed not only LeBron, but some of the other players the wrong way in Miami initially, and then they got over it once Spo was proven. Same thing in Cleveland. David Blatt, no track record in the NBA or even American basketball for the most part, and he had a swag about him, though, like he has done it. He has been there, and that's what rubbed those guys the wrong way. Now with Frank Vogel, he hadn't won a championship, but he's proven himself against LeBron when he was in Indiana with a lesser talented team, giving the Miami Heat all they wanted. And now Vogel, no swag, just comes in, does his work, knows all that he needs to know for the players, and LeBron respects that. So I totally agree with what he said and believe it.
You know I don't believe 1 ounce of it. This is, again, trade deadline came and went. LeBron wants to save face. They didn't get the guy, and you can poo-poo Marcus Morris all you want.
I will.
Rick Bucher was on this very show and said he would be in Los Angeles and with the Lakers by the end of the day.
Though?
No, I'm just saying that they were interested and that they had conversations.
Okay.
They didn't get them because they didn't pull the trigger. My point is, don't act like they didn't want anybody or that wanted to add to this team. No, but I'm just saying, but they wanted to add to the team. They're not set. And the other thing is just another excuse so that when LeBron doesn't win, they'll be able to go and say, well, what do you want them to do? Look at what the Clippers did. Look at what they went out and got at the trade deadline. The Lakers stood pat, and now you're asking him to win, and he don't even have anybody. We've been through this movie before. You had your time, Chris Broussard. And here's the other one. The last time they were in Cleveland, his last year, you remember at the trade deadline, they made 3 different trades. They brought in 19 players to reboot the team. LeBron stuck his chest out. I got enough to win now. Did they win? No, they didn't win because they had Rodney Hood and George Hill and Jordan Clarkson and Nance. Remember all those moves? And nothing happened. They got no better. All I'm saying is I'm not buying. I'm not saying that there's a feud going on in the front office, but nothing happened. I told Chris before the season started on the radio show that if it was one front office I had to count on to go get a player at the All-Star break, did I not say that before the season? I said I have more confidence in the Clippers than the Lakers, and we saw it play out.
I remember that because that's the one right thing Ralph said this season.
Yeah, I believe LeBron here, and a lot of reasons why, but this is my reason why. When you're number 1 in the Western Conference, you're 39-12, your team is sitting atop of the Western Conference. We've seen the talent that's in this conference. You're good. You know that you're good. You know that you have configured a team that can win. It's been proven over the span of the first half of the season. We see that. Now, you have an opportunity to get better. You don't. But what I like about what LeBron is saying and what he's identifying is just because we didn't go get a Marcus Morris or it didn't work out or Andre Iguodala or Derrick Rose, all these names that we thought that they were going to try to get, it didn't work out. They didn't. What we didn't see is them make a stretch and just try to reach and get any kind of player just to suffice and make LeBron happy. No, we have enough. And you are the reason why we are enough. You and Anthony Davis, the all-star,
They're not enough,
talent, they are enough.
Here's where Greg is right. Listen, you keep saying they need someone else. So I want to ask you, do you want Marcus Morris? As he said, as Broussard said, are you giving up Danny Green, who has played in 140-something playoff games, who was nearly the finals of the MVP in 2013 when he was on fire with the Spurs? Are you going to give up
nearly MVP?
Yeah. Danny Green was
incredible.
He's got playoff
The
experience.
bottom line is against the top 4 teams in each conference, they have a losing record, Greg. Those are the teams you face in the playoffs. Chris Broussard knows this, and he's said it time and time again. They don't have enough closers at the end of the game. And you know it, Chris.
We'll get to that. Is not a closer.
They don't.
Marcus Morris is not a closer.
But I'm just saying,
15-minute-a-game
they
guys.
were looking for another closer because, A, we've seen Anthony Davis thus far this year, against the Clippers, a total of 4 points in 2 games. He has way fewer shots in the fourth quarter than during the other 3 quarters. And LeBron is the only closer they have. They needed to add somebody else. And they didn't do it.
I want to stay on the topic and Rob Parker ask you. You're jumping on LeBron for saying he's fine with the front office and ownership. Yet if he were to come out and be like, this is ridiculous, we didn't get anything done, if he's sending out Instagram stuff and Twitter posts and all that, you would be killing him.
No, I'm not saying
He's
that.
saying we have enough. He's now, whether you and I agree or not with it, he believes.
Do you think they have enough?
I don't think they're the favorite. I think the Clippers are the favorite.
But do you
I
think they have enough?
They have a chance
To win the championship
yes,
the way they
have
are
a chance.
now.
I think the Clippers are better, but they have a chance, no doubt. And who'd you want them to get? You know, if you give up Kuzma and Danny Green, I agree. I would have given up Kuzma straight up for Marcus Morris. You couldn't because financially. I give up Danny Green probably straight up for Marcus Morris. But both of them, I bring in Morris. Now I create another hole by losing Danny Green as my 2 guard. So
just so you know, you think the Clippers somehow got better at the deadline with Marcus Morris, who's having a fluky season with the Knicks, his best season.
Fluky, whatever you want to call it, those are the numbers.
What did the Las Vegas odds say?
I don't care about the Las Vegas odds.
Oh, you don't care about the Vegas odds? Yeah, Vegas knows nothing.
Because
the Clippers and Lakers are still plus 300 to win the championship. Nothing changed.
I get they have 2 of the 3 best players, but it's more about a team. And when you look at the piece that the Clippers just added, he fits in perfectly. He's a dog. He's a hard player. He can put a body to AD. He's not going to stop AD, but he's another guy who can do that. That's all I'm saying is he fits into what the Clippers are doing. I love the move.
With the Clippers, but he doesn't fit into the Lakers,
the
as
Lakers
Chris said,
wanted
for
him.
Kuzma and Danny Green. Doesn't
They
make
just
sense.
didn't want to pay that.
what should they have done, Rob?
Yeah.
I mean, since LeBron should be all upset because
I
they
didn't say he should be all upset.
Well, that's what you seem
I'm
to be
saying I
saying.
don't buy that. The front. This is all great. We're in tune with each other. Everything.
Why not?
They were looking to make a move, and they didn't make one.
29 other teams were looking to make a move too. What are you talking about?
But they need to make a move because we've seen them against the best teams. Their record is fraudulent. Go look at it. They're under
LeBron
500
is not
against the best
unrealistic.
teams.
He's not sitting there saying, "Oh, they didn't get me Zach LaVine, so I'm upset." I mean, what were they supposed to do?
They could
How
get
Kuzma
Dion
doesn't
Waiters.
make any money.
Dion Waiters is now out there. Maybe they'll go get him, and you'll be happy.
He's a playmaker.
This is why you acquire or you bring in Anthony Davis. And you're talking about they don't have closers. And you kill me with this closer statement because you said this about, you know, the Boston Celtics last year and Kyrie being their closer.
I don't remember saying that.
We saw what happened with them. But every team doesn't have the luxury of having
your imagination.
Every team doesn't have the luxury of having 3 to 4 guys like the Clippers. That's a luxury. When LeBron James won in Cleveland, how many closers did he have?
2.
In Miami, how many closers did they have?
2.
Closers.
Ray Allen closed one.
Ray Allen definitely did close.
Oh, okay.
Now, how many closers do they have?
They have one closer in LeBron
How many
James.
closers do
Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis isn't a closer. And Chris
Rob,
Broussard.
So wait, how many do the Clippers
Is he a
have?
closer? He's not a closer.
They
George a closer?
they need to begin making him a closer.
He's not.
They're not going to him enough in the fourth and use these regular season games to get him used
And
to
he
being
has
a
to get the
closer.
ball from somebody. He can't take the ball and end the game. He's not.
Rob, let me just go with a true or false question.
So they
the
were-
best player a front office has added to LeBron's team ever, any team he's been on, is Anthony Davis.
LeBron added Anthony Davis. Stop with the
What?
front
The
office.
Lakers made the trade.
LeBron did that.
LeBron did that. That ain't got
LeBron's the
nothing to do
reason
with no-
that they're where
Thank
they
you.
are. Because
It ain't
he's
nothing about no
he's
front
great,
office.
and then he got Anthony Davis.
course.
Let's keep that
The
real.
addition of Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
Everywhere
that
he
wasn't
went,
front
they-
office done. That
they
was LeBron
never
James.
added anyone of that
But
level.
you think he's upset with the front
No,
office?
I didn't say that. I just said he's just saying everything's great, but I'm
Isn't
deep
that
down.
better?
No, I'm
Should
not.
he- should he-
I'm not saying he should throw a fit. I don't believe that if they were able to get not only get Marcus Morris, it would be taken away from the Clippers. So not only did you not get him, the team you're trying to beat just got the guy that you wanted to get.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.